I did hear a couple of people in the street say that Chris took a stab at throwing y'all under the bus. Did you get some side chicks to sign NDAs? No, this is for real.
I ain't had nobody sign an NDA.
That wasn't the right answer.
You said, did I get a side chick to sign an NDA? And
Yeah.
I said, I had no one ever sign an NDA.
You honestly don't know that that's the wrong answer?
Why? You just accused me of having side chicks that sign NDAs. I said, I never.
Your answer is I ain't had no side chick.
That's obvious.
No, it's not!
It's not?
What is wrong with you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, y'all. So several things is interesting to me about this. For one, she starts with Chris throwing both Maurice and Marsau under the bus. Like, for Chris to do that, it's almost like he's deflecting, like, what me? It was probably them two, you know? And it's like they say, like Stormy says, when there's smoke, there's fire. And so for him to try to be like, nope, no smoke over here, look over there, smoke over, it's a lot of smoke over there. You know, we all know that's wrong. It's like when you go to prison, you snitch on your homie or something, right? Like, it's just wrong. But I do feel like a lot of people do it. And that's why people just like, if you're going to do dirt, which I feel like nobody should be doing dirt. Everybody should be trying to prosper. Life is hard enough. Let's not make it harder. But when you doing dirt, do it by yourself, because obviously, you know, even the people you think you can trust, you can't really trust. And when you're still young and you're growing, you still got a lot of learning to do, and people are still changing. Mind you, a lot of people aren't really set in their ways until like 30, 40, maybe even 50s, right? Then you got people that set in their ways around 40s and 50s. So I still feel like when you're still a young adult, you got a lot of growing to do. So it's just like, you know, assess everyone, because the people that may be real today may not be tomorrow. And that's just life. It's a part of growth. Some people grow for the better. Some people grow for the worse, right? Some people stay stagnant for a while, but then over time, you change is inevitable. So, but the other thing I think is interesting is Maurice and Kimmi having that little, you know, she was lightweight interrogating Maurice about him having side chicks, and has he had any side chicks sign an NDA? And Maurice seemed like he was trying to answer the question politically correct, which was, you know, like, okay, just answer it yes or no. Like, man, I ain't never, you know me. But, you know, for him to be like, I've never had anyone sign an NDA. It's almost like, well, did you propose that before and they just didn't sign it? Or you don't feel like with your side chicks, you need one. So I think that's why Kimmi was like, you know, the better answer is I don't even have a side chick. And he's just like, well, that's obvious. But you know what I like more than ever is the fact that they can have these hard conversations and laugh about them. Regardless of what's true and what's not true, I think what's amicable, in my opinion, is that they can have these very hard conversations and laugh at them. And, you know, maybe that's both of their way of coping with the hard conversation. But I love the fact that they make a hard conversation light. And I think that works for them, especially in their marriage. And I think it's a beautiful thing just to do and just to have all together. But I don't know. This one is still up in the air. I'm more interested in the fact that Chris threw them under the bus and was like, you know, they're the ones who done something like that. That sounds like them. You know, I wouldn't expect that from Chris. But then again, like they say, when you're trying to deflect, you never know what someone else may do.